Welcome to the Bank First Ranger Hour. Super Talk Mississippi 93.7 Spotlight on Northwest Community College. And you can listen to our live stream at supertalknorthms.com. Just click on the link for the Bank First Ranger Hour. Now, here's your host, Gary Darby.
Again, North Mississippi, we are in the studios of Super Talk 93.7 and ready to talk to you. It is a Thursday. It is August 13th, and time for the Bank First Ranger Hour, another edition of the program. Let me tell you what we have in store for you on today's show. We will first get a chance to talk to the Director of Student Activities. Michaela Mhyre will be on. And we'll visit about all the activities that are planned for Welcome Week. And we talked to one of the Pathfinders in one of our shows last week, in fact, and she mentioned some of the things that were going on Northwest Campus and some events and things that we will again talk about with Michaela. And we'll get her, discussing everything throughout the week as, students on campus and classes rolling and getting ready to go, and we'll just find out what all is going to happen at NWCC in the upcoming week and fill you in on all of that. When we are done, it is a conversation with the football coach, Benji Parker. Coach Parker and company with back-to-back 10-2 seasons. So we will check things out with the head football coach. And then we'll finish with some other sporting events and things that are going on, at least give you the schedule and pass along some things there. So we will discuss all that's going on for students on campus, a lot of events and things to kind of introduce you to NWCC and what they will be doing in kind of a welcome week scenario, and then football and other athletics before we are done on the show today. So the Heindel Center, a busy spot. We'll talk about that before we hit the first break. As you've already had the comedy tour, Bill Engvall roll through. And next up from the contemporary Christian world is Danny Gokey. That's on the 21st. So we're a little over a week away next Friday. Tickets available for that one. And after that, it's time for Motown, right? We get into September, and September is going to bring us the Four Tops on the 9th, and then Country Music Stars, Lone Star, on the 25th. So a lot of great things still strolling through North Mississippi and the Heindel Center for the Performing Arts. That website, heindelcenter.org, is there for you. It's there for you to go ahead and pick out some tickets, still some packages if you want. If you can, figure out the ones that you would like and fit your schedule. Opportunity to give gifts. You can do that as well. Plan your visit to Senatobia and the Heindel Center for the Performing Arts. All you got to do is go to heindelcenter.org. Tomorrow on the program, we'll start doing some high school sports and other sports as well in news, and we'll at around 9:20 focus again in on the city of Senatobia. In fact, today, all Northwest Community College. Tomorrow, we'll get the athletic director at Magnolia Heights School, Jake Long, on at 9:20. We'll get him with a lot of things, everything, in fact, that's going on the Hill, and then, of course, you'll be able to listen to games here on Super Talk 93.7 when the high school football season gets started for them, which is in a hurry. In fact, we're talking about all of the heat and what we are dealing with. Obviously, our sports dealing with that as well and getting prepared for, the upcoming season. So we will get a chance to talk to Jake Long on the program tomorrow at 9:20, and then we'll continue discussing sports and things that are going on throughout North Mississippi, or maybe even just a little bit, north where the FedEx St. Jude Championship is underway. Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy already on the course, but the guy right now that has things under control through the first 4 holes is Tommy Fleetwood. He has a couple of birdies and an eagle through the first 4 holes, and Pearson Coody has tied him at 4 under. That's for you golfers out there that are rolling around and might want to keep up with the events going on in the city of Memphis. So we'll talk a little bit about that and Magnolia Heights athletic department as a whole. They match up against the rivals from Batesville, North Delta, to open things up 1 week from Friday on August 21. So we'll get into that discussion tomorrow. But today, all about Northwest Community College. And we thank our friends Bank First for powering this show yet again. Director of Student Activities Michaela Mhyre is next, and then the head coach, Benji Parker. And if you miss any of the show, you got to get out of the vehicle and go inside, or whatever happens, and it just breaks up your ability to listen on this Thursday. Anywhere you pick up a podcast, you'll be able to listen to it later on. The Bank First Ranger Hour in podcast form a little later today. 662-426-1093 if you want a text message into the show. I'll be glad to get a couple of those, too, as we roll along this morning at 9:15.
This hour is Everything Northwest, your connection to Northwest Mississippi Community College, and powered by Bank First. Thanks for joining us on the Bank First Ranger Hour. Join the conversation now by texting 662-426-1093.
In the second half of the show, a conversation with the head football coach, Benji Parker. We'll get to that. We'll talk about the upcoming football season. But now, Director of Student Activities, Michaela Mhyre, is back on with us. We joked, at least I did when I made the phone call with you, if you were ready for your yearly attendance on this show, and you reminded me usually it's homecoming week, not welcome week. So it's early visit for you.
Yes, I was almost kind of shocked that you guys have me on so early. I'm excited though.
So then maybe there'll be a repeat performance here in a couple of weeks when we get to homecoming, and it will be here before you know it, right? We get this thing started. I know it seemed like, boom, 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 you're doing this, and then the next thing you know, it's almost all over.
It has been insane, and this year with homecoming being so early, it's kind of like we go from welcome week, a week of chiller events that aren't really chill, and then we have Centennial week, and then we have a week of chiller events, and then it's homecoming week. So these next 6 weeks at Northwest are going to be probably the biggest, largest, most hectic weeks I've ever seen at any college. So we're in for a real treat, that is for sure.
We're going to talk about Welcome Week, but you mentioned it. It's year 100 for Northwest Community College, so it's a special year, isn't it?
Yes, it is. We had our faculty convocation earlier this week, and it was just it's almost humbling to be like, holy cow, this school has gone through more changes than anything, but to get to where we are at now and see the growth of it, it's like, oh wow, it's almost like a pinch me moment, and I don't say that lightly. It's just very, very cool to see how far the college has come and where it's going to go. It's only going up, so we're in a good little spot, I would say.
And you as Director of Student Activities, trying to place these events and do different things for all of these weeks that you're talking about. And one of the things that we've talked with Dr. Heindel about and others as well is how enrollment continues to rise. And you are continually dealing with more and more students each and every year. Is there a challenge to that, or just add to the, quote, fun, so to speak?
It's fun. It's definitely something. Some days I'm like, are we sure fun is still the word? But it is. It's definitely something. I think with our enrollment continuing to rise, it's one of those things where you feel it on campus. From my first year to the year that we are at now, it's kind of like, you're seeing people everywhere. There is not a spot on campus that is bare or dry, so to say. So it's just one of those things where you definitely feel the enrollment growth.
Michaela, talk with us about Welcome Week. Let's start wherever you want, I guess day one, and what exactly will go on.
So day one is going to be our Ranger Roundup, which is basically our student convocation. So we'll kick off that morning we have resource tents with different groups that have stepped up, including cheer and recruiting and various groups like that. So we'll be helping students find their classes, providing maps, that kind of stuff. And then we will go into the lunch hour where we have first day of school pictures to send to their parents.
Really?
You're never too old for that. And then that night we have one of our largest events of the semester. So it's going to be our Ranger Roundup, and essentially we get all of our groups and organizations. We put a DJ in there. Our cheer and dance teams perform. Our drum line performs. You meet our director of housing, our dean of students, and it ends up being just a humongous hangout session that provides a lot of information. So no better way to start the week than that. And then we go into Tuesday. Tuesday, our partnership with BSU has only grown now that we have Brother Toot, and he has been absolutely incredible. So he has taken a lot off of us. So throughout the year, we do various collabs, and one of his big collabs is Water Day. So he will have the fire department there. He'll have food trucks there, and that starts at 4 outside of our BSU building. And I mean, he puts on an incredible event there. And then as soon as that ends, we have a women's soccer tailgate. We are home of the reigning national champions, so we got to celebrate them. So we'll have free hot dogs, free burgers for all of our students. And Northwest, I don't know if people have seen our facilities yet, but we have a light show. So anytime we score, the lights go crazy. And our women's soccer team tends to score a lot.
Yes, they do.
So we're hoping to get some students out there. I mean, they put on it's a fun atmosphere. And that kind of catapults us into Wednesday, which is everyone's favorite event, which is our rock party. So we'll open up our outdoor complex. We'll stick a DJ out there. This year the theme is red, white, and Ranger, so red, white, and blue. We figured with it being not only our 100th year, but also America's 250th birthday, we were like, you know what, red, white, and blue, let's show all the school spirit. Luckily, those are our colors.
Yeah.
So it kind of falls right into line. So we'll have a DJ out there and props and popsicles and that kind of stuff. And then after those first 3 days, I need a break. And so we slow it back down Thursday. And that partnership with BSU comes back through, and they put on an ice cream social where last year they had every single topping you could ever think of, and provide free sundaes to all of our students.
You know, it's almost like all you got to do is apply yourself. I think I had that conversation with a student last week on the show. You can make your time at Northwest whatever you want because you are providing students with something each and every day, and that's going to continue throughout the semester. But this seems like such a great way to get things started and to get, your freshman year, or if you're a sophomore, come back and see those old friends and get it started in a great way.
Absolutely, and that's kind of what we try to emphasize is that we want you guys, you're going to make friends no matter what because there's so many people here. So you add that on top of doing things that you like, eating ice cream, for example, you're going to automatically hit it off with somebody. And that's kind of what we aim to do that first week is really show, like, Northwest, this isn't just a community college, it's more of a home. And so enjoy it because it goes by so incredibly fast.
And I know where they're focused or going to focus on the education in the classroom, or they may be focusing on both education and whatever sport they're playing, but you've got to give them things like this, right? They need the break as much as you need the break sometimes to just go have some ice cream.
Absolutely, and I know we have good academics. I trust our teachers. I trust our staff in that area. So it's one of those things where class is in halfway through the day, and no one wants to sit in their room
right
until it's time to go to sleep. That's kind of, that makes your college experience, I would say, almost miserable and not worth it. So this allows them to get out, meet people, and even if you're meeting staff at that point, we do have a lot of staff attend our events, which has been a huge, huge blessing because they're also able to build new relationships. And so I think it's doing way more good than what we had ever done, and every year it's just seemed to increase, which is great. I mean, it creates its own problems, but it's great problems to have.
Well, ready or not, it's here. And you and your crew, and I know it's more than just one lady out there running around doing all this. It takes a village, I'm sure, to pull all this off.
Absolutely. I am very, 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 very grateful for the hands that come out and help me. Even it's the groups that are sitting at these tents in the mornings from 8 to 11, because I know it's hot, and I know they have a million other things to do. So everyone at Northwest has really stepped up and been like, you know what? Yeah, she might need some help here. Let me take this off.
No doubt. All right, last message before I let you go, and you continue to get prepared for all that's going on.
Last message is going to be, if you have not attended Northwest recently, if you are an alum from here, if you are interested in getting back into school, if you have no interest in Northwest at all, but you live in the area, please, please, please come out and see our campus. Our campus is by far one of the prettiest things I've ever seen, and I'm from Texas, so that's saying something. But we want everyone to just feel like they are welcome. So all of our events this year are going to be more community-based. We're trying to get our faces out there. We're trying to make sure people know that Northwest is not just a piece of the community. It helps embody what Senatobia is all about. So if you are nearby from anything like that, come by. And we will definitely hook you up, at least with a T-shirt. That's the least we can do.
Well, a great message and a great job by you joining the program today and all that you do. Sounds like we'll be talking with you again in future weeks, okay? And not just the one-time-a-year stuff anymore.
Yeah, get me on here some more. I have plenty of events we can talk about.
That sounds great. Have a great day.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You too.
That's our friend and the director of Student Activities, Michaela Mhyre, who joins us on the program today. Now she can get on and do whatever she needs to do out in the world, continuing to prepare for whether it is Welcome Week this week, or as she mentioned, it is year 100 for Northwest Community College. Super Talk will be live on the Northwest campus coming up in a few weeks. And then, of course, every Thursday we'll continue to talk about the goings-on at NWCC, and do that every Thursday along the way. So you get the Welcome Week, you've got the Centennial, you've got Homecoming, you've got each and every day something great going. northwestms.edu. If you want to find out about student activities, if you're thinking of, here's the thing. Maybe you're the parent of a current high school senior or junior, and you're thinking about what's next for them. You yourself go to northwestms.edu. Peruse around. Look at all the things that they have academically and student-wise, and you might see that it's a place that you might want your... And I love the idea of getting the first day of school pictures, even for the college kids, right? I guess I can call them kids. I did. We all have those social media posts, right? First day of whatever grade at whatever school. Well, why not do it for the ones that are, done with high school? They've gotten that last first day of high school picture done, and now it's the first day of the next chapter of their life. It all will roll on and do good things next week on the Northwest campus, and we thank Michaela Mhyre for being on the program today. Let's have that conversation with Coach Benji Parker, shall we? We'll do that after the break. We'll find out about Northwest football. Their season starts on the 27th, 2 weeks away. We'll talk with him, and then we'll get into some of the other sports and schedules and things before today's Bank First Ranger Hour is over.
Thanks for listening to the Bank First Ranger Hour, your connection to Northwest Mississippi Community College on Super Talk Mississippi 93.7 and streaming live at supertalknorthms.com. Just click on the link for the Bank First Ranger Hour.
I always enjoy this conversation each and every year, and we'll get to do it now because football season is officially here. We're only a couple of weeks away from the, quote, real games to get started, and the head coach of the Northwest Rangers is our friend Benji Parker. Coach, how you doing today?
Hey, Gary, doing pretty good. You okay?
I think so. We discussed off air, some of what it's like moving up in the world of birthdays, things like that. But we're doing all right. We're making it, I think.
Hey, Gary, we're not getting older. We're getting better.
That's okay.
Right?
Sure. Yeah, and they keep telling me that 7-year-old's making me younger too, Coach, and I don't know if that's necessarily the truth,
Hey, I'll tell you this. So my daughter, she's a senior this year. So, boy, time flies and all that. But, yeah, I know that. I don't know if they keep you young or make you get older. I don't know.
It does something to you. We both know that is true. So I found it interesting, and I typically probably ask you this each and every year. How long have you been at Northwest? And obviously you were a defensive coordinator before you took the job. Over this show, actually over the weekend that I started, would be 11 years ago. And you have now been the head man, right? This is season number 11 for you at Northwest.
Well, I don't know if you. It could be. I just got to go year by year. Is this 11? It could be. I don't know.
11 or 12?
It's just another year. Here we go. It's another football season,
Well, and that's to the point and where I was going to go, right? You get somewhere, you're happy where you are or whatever, but regardless, you as the coach and the head coach are just looking at one thing. It's another football season. I've got to get my staff, my roster coordinated and put together and put the best product that I can out on the field. True?
Gary, that's exactly right. And you're right. I've been at Northwest as the head coach 10 or 11 years. And here's the thing about that. When I'm so blessed to be the head coach at Northwest, we've got a great administration. We got a great student body. We have everything is great. And, the old deal, time flies when you're having fun. It's been fun. I love it here. I hope I can stay many, many more years. And I'm just thankful to be here, having a lot of fun, enjoy the coaches, enjoy the players, got great support, and I'm very thankful for that.
Well, the product has been there each and every year, the highest winning percentage as a head coach. I know you don't want to talk about yourself, but we're going to do a little bit of something here. Because of the wins that you have put, it has shown whether it is the retention of staff or whatever staff members you may have had throughout that time. And then you've also gone and found football players that have been not just good on the field of play, but good in a classroom setting and in the real world also.
Well, you're right. I don't want to talk about that. So what about the great administration we got that allows me to do my job? What about these coaches that develop these kids? And what about the players that we've had in the last 10 or 11 years that have went on to be unbelievable? And I got a text from a buddy of mine that's a head coach at a Division I school, and this kid in particular, he's is going into his 5th year, and he texted me a picture of him in his cap and gown the other day, just graduated and all that. So how about that? How many great players, how many great things do we have going on over here? It's unbelievable.
Well, let me get your thoughts on the new building, the new facility. Yeah, you've done a great job with the field house and things, but now a little indoor practice facility as well, because I am going to get into the hot temperatures that you're going to have to work in here in the next couple of days. But what about those facilities that you have?
Yeah, well, they're phenomenal. It allows us, when we've got bad weather and that kind of thing, to go inside and still work. But at the end of the day, that facility is awesome, and it's great for our cheer and dance, and even other sports go in there and practice and can get better whenever they need to, whether it be weather, whether it be whatever the case, So it's phenomenal for everybody, and I'm very thankful for that. But at the end of the day, we try to get on that field as much as we can, Gary, because when we play football, Mississippi, late August, September, October, and even in November, sometimes in December, it's hot. So we get out there in it, you know.
How careful are you approaching it, though, with our temperatures by the end of the week, triple digits just for the actual temperature?
You know, I saw that this morning, and I was talking to our coaches and our trainers, and it's going to be hot. So we try to be as careful as we can. You know, there's a fine line there of, you know, pushing the players, but also taking care of them. And our doctors and our trainers and our coaches, they do a great job. So, yeah, it's going to be hot. So I have to do a good job, too. And I told the team today, we got to kind of push through it. And, you know, every morning when I wake up, I think about, hey, what should we do today to get better? And I start with myself trying to evaluate what can we do to get better. And there's a fine line of taking care of everybody and pushing through. So, but it is hot. We're in the deep South, and it just is what it is, you know. But again, we have great trainers. Hey, Gary, I'll tell you this: we have what we call a cold truck, right? And it is a tractor trailer with a freezer in it. And halfway through practice, we put every kid in there to cool off a little bit because I think we need it. And we started that last year, and it has been absolutely phenomenal. It has been phenomenal. So,
smart. Yep.
Yep.
Back-to-back 10-2 seasons. For 4 out of 5 years, you've been in the NJCAA playoff format. And now you sit here and you as you said, you've got to try and be better, and your team's got to be better because you know everybody else in the state of Mississippi is trying to get better than Northwest.
Yeah, you're right. They are trying to. And let me say this too: it's tough because, you know, our state. Think about this, Gary. 2 SEC with our population and stuff. 2 SEC programs in our state that traditionally have been really, really good. Southern Miss, traditionally really, really good. Delta State, Millsaps, Belhaven, 14 community colleges. Now think about that. How many great players come out of this state for all? And look, if you look at every roster over the last 50 years, the majority of that roster has been built by Mississippi kids. Isn't that something? Isn't that something, you know? And you know, to answer your question, the high school coaches, the players, it's just unbelievable. I mean, it's tough every year. There's great coaches. There's great players. So it is absolutely, it's tough. It's bad tough.
Well, and I'm going to just kind of jump on that just a little bit. Sometimes I'm asked what some of my favorite times are in covering sports, and I go back to Thursday nights up and down the state of Mississippi because the men wearing the uniforms, wherever the community college might be, are playing for their lives. Maybe guys that didn't have grades at some point or something happened prior to them becoming a college student. They were overlooked, whatever it might be. They're playing for their lives every single down of football that they have on your team, on Cohoma's team, on Southwest Mississippi's team, or wherever it might be. There were no plays off no matter what the score was. The gentlemen wearing the pads and the helmets for whatever team were given every bit they have on a Thursday night in the state of Mississippi.
No question. And look, I remember when I was a kid, so Thursday night, you want to watch a good JUCO game for those guys, and what a phenomenal game, and what a physical game, and what a tough game that was. And then Friday night, you know, we have it the best in our state because Thursday night, here we go. Let's go watch a good community college game. All right. Friday, let's go watch a great high school game. Let's go watch. All right. Saturday, we can go to the 4-year schools. Here we go. Sunday after church, let's turn on the TV and watch NFL. We got it all here, you know?
You do. And look, we are addicted to the game of football. I saw where the Hall of Fame NFL football game, the viewership was larger than any program, whether you want to go back to sports throughout last year until football season, right? Every NBA game, even the Stanley Cup playoffs for hockey or whatever it might be, a preseason football game where you didn't know half the people playing, America just loves them some football, and in North Mississippi, we are some of the biggest fans that we can ever be for the sport. So with that, you open up with Jones coming up in a couple of weeks. I guess it's just all preparation. We're not going to go into roster because, as I say with most all of the coaches, but maybe even more so with you in football, you're still working on that and doing those kinds of things to get ready for the upcoming season. But how will you spend these next couple of weeks preparing for the tough opponent that will be Jones for the season opener?
Well, Garrett, that's a good question. And so in the coming days, we will try to start focusing on winning opponents and that kind of stuff. Where we're at right now, we're trying to focus on us, and try to get better, evaluate the kids, that kind of stuff. But moving forward, we will start working on Jones and then Gulf Coast, Colin, and that's we have to do that. And look, week one, Jones, what a great tradition, what great coaches. They've got a phenomenal place down there. I was that was my first job coaching football at Jones. I was a part-time coach at Jones back in 1998. So don't do the math on that, but that's where I started, right there at Jones under the head coach who was in the Hall of Fame, Parker Dykes. And Jones has been good forever, and they'll be good this year. So utmost respect for Jones.
Yeah, schedule makers shove you there to open it up and at Scuba to finish up, right? I mean, it's like
I don't know who did this, Gary. I mean, if you maybe threw in the Packers and the Bears, then we would have maybe had a complete schedule.
Right, yeah. They didn't
not
give you.
That it's not complete right now.
They didn't give you any breaks. They definitely didn't. Coach, I always thank you for your discussion, your honesty on your program, and we appreciate all you've done at Northwestern. We'll have you, obviously, throughout the season or around playoff time, okay?
Always good talking to you. Thanks, buddy.
Our friend, Coach Benji Parker, joining us on the program today. Northwest football in 2025, 10-2, claimed the Mississippi Association of Community Colleges Conference title for the second year in a row and claimed what is now half of those MACCC Region 23 titles in the decade, and they made the NJCAA playoffs for the fourth time in 5 years. The format began in 2021. So they have that to try and follow up on in this upcoming football season. Now he is replacing a record number 33 members of the squad that went on to four-year schools, 9 of those signing with Power Fours. And not only are they putting the football players on the field, but 110 Rangers have been recognized by the NJCAA All-Academic Selections as coach has been going along, and that's a 3.6 or higher GPA. So they have done that as well as win football games. It all starts 2 weeks from today in Ellisville, Bobcat Stadium against Jones. Then it's Gulf Coast. That's a repeat of playoff games for several years in a row as the home opener in Senatobia on September 3rd. They play Colin in Wesson and then get the north half portion of their schedule started with Mississippi Delta. And, of course, the usuals. They'll play Northeast, Coahoma, Holmes, Itawamba, and East, as I mentioned, on the final regular season game. They do have another South opponent in Southwest Community College in late October, but a difficult schedule again for Northwest, and it all starts in 2 weeks, and we thank Coach Parker for his time. With that, I mentioned this as well, that the women's soccer program, back-to-back defending national champions, are preseason number 1 in the country. There are 5 teams in Mississippi in the top 25. Jones was number 3, Holmes was number 5, Gulf Coast was number 6, Pearl River was number 9, and Hines was number 20. Women's soccer doing some exhibition work as we speak today. It is scheduled at noon in Cleveland against Delta State, so a warm one for Coach Beatty and company. And for the Northwest men, they will be hosting Delta State's men tomorrow night at 6:30 in exhibition soccer play. Volleyball, yep, they get started with their exhibition schedule this weekend. On Saturday, they're in Jackson, Tennessee. They'll take on the home team Jackson State and Lemoyne Owen out of Memphis before they get the regular season started coming up next weekend on the 22nd. So volleyball about ready to get started for Northwest and Coach Burchett, as well as all kind of things started up for NWCC. They had a tremendous year last year with all of their sports, both on and off the field, and ready to start another as the semester gets underway here at NWCC. Again, later on today, podcast form, you'll be able to find it in case you missed our conversation with Michaela Mhyre, our Director of Student Activities, all the things that they have planned next week with Welcome Week and other things that are going on, or any of that conversation with Coach Parker. You can find it in podcast form later. The Bank First Ranger Hour. Tomorrow, we'll start digging into some of the people that are in and around our high school sports teams. And we're going to start back in Senatobia. We'll go with the Director of Athletics there, Jake Long, and we'll talk with him about the sports season that they had, new things that are going on the campus, and for our MAIS schools, regular season gets started next week on the 21st. So we have a lot of things to get to. That will be one of the things we'll do tomorrow among many when we get another opportunity to chat with you for an hour between 9 and 10 o'clock. The Bank First Ranger Hour done for this Thursday, August 13th. Stay safe out there and enjoy your Thursday. Talk to you tomorrow morning. So long.
Now the time has come for leaving, fear now we shall return. We were so glad we could make it, but so sad we gotta run.